Dear students, I am Dr. Anil Prasad from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Hyderabad. Today we will learn about the distribution of age composition, sex composition, and learn about various measures based on age composition and sex composition. You also will learn in this module the distribution of the Indian population by marital status data from 2001 and 2011 census. In 2011 census, the demographic data was collected through household data schedule, which included questions on sex, age, marital status, literacy status, religion, etc. We would be focusing on the age-sex distribution and marital status of the population and of all members residing in the household and data from 2001 and 2011 census this module. The age-sex structure of a population at any time is the result of past trends in fertility, mortality, and migration. Age statistics from an important component of population analysis, as most of the analysis is based on age-sex structure of the population. Age structure is the basic demographic determinant of a nation's manpower supply, and it influences demand for various essential goods and services. The size of the school-going population, the total working force, and new entrants into the job market for each year are determined by the age structure. Here we will discuss about sex composition. The measure that describes that sex composition of population is the sex ratio. Sex ratio is defined as the number of females per 1,000 males. It is an important and useful indicator to assess relative access of deficit of men or women in a given population at the point of time. In India, the overall sex ratio has been unfavorable to females during 1901 to 1991. It had declined from 972 in 1901 to 927 1991. Table 1 gives overall sex ratio and sex ratio of 0 to 7 population in 2001 and 2011. In 2001 census, the sex ratio was 9:33, showing an unpared improvement from in 2001 census. The sex ratio was 9:33, showing an upward improvement from 1991. It further improved to 9:43 in India during 2011. We can refer table 1. See the table. In table 1, it describes about sex ratio females per 1,000 males in India 2001 and 2011. In 2001, the overall sex ratio was 19:33. Sex ratio in population aged 7 and above is 9:35. In 2011, overall sex ratio is 9:43. In aged 7 and above is 9:47. Sex ratio in population aged 7 years and above. This indicator reveals the discrimination shown to a girl child in the society. The sex ratio in population aged 7+ years improved by 12 points from 935 in 2001 to 947 in 2011 points at the national level, slightly more than the improvement in the overall sex ratio. Child sex ratio 0 to 6 years. In 1991 census tabulated for the first time separately sex ratio for the age group of 0 to 6 years and 7 years and above from the single year data by sex. It is possible to obtain sex ratio for any age group. CSR in population aged 0 to 6 years declined by 18 points at the national level from 945 in 1991 to 927 in 2001. A decline of 18 points in a decade was substantial and was regarded as a very serious matter. Following a similar trend, the child sex ratio was declined by 8 points, 919 in 2011 census, showing unfavorable attitude towards female child. Factor responsible for decline in sex ratio, especially child sex ratio. There are 4 possible reasons for India's low sex ratio. First one is a greater undercount of females relative to males in the census, greater emigration of females. Third point, more adverse mortality conditions for females than for males. And fourth point is sex ratio at birth becoming more unfavorable to females than what it was in the past. This shows there is a discrimination in the community. Age composition. India has one of the largest percentage of population in the younger age groups in the world. It is noteworthy that India has a young age structure. Table 2 gives percentage distribution of India's population in 2001 and 2011 by age and sex. The percentage of children below the age of 15 years declined from 35.6 in 2001 to 30.8 in 2011 census. The percentage of persons aged 60 years and above old age populations, on the other hand, increased from 7.5 in 2001 to 8.9% in 2011. We can see the figures shown in this particular table. This table describes about distribution of population of each sex by broad age groups in India 2001 and 2011. Also, the data of table 2 clearly shows that the percentage of working age population 15 to 59 years had increased from 56.9 in 2001 to 60.3 in 2011. The age structure of a country's population is normally presented in 5 yearly age groups. Table 3 gives the distribution of population by age and sex for 2001 to 2011. The percent of population in 0 to 14 years is decreasing from 2001 to 2011 among total males and females, which could be due to decline in fertility. The percent of population in 60 and above years is increasing from 2001 to 2011 among total males and females, which could be due to decline in mortality. We can see this table, distribution of population by age and sex in 2001 and 2011. Age-sex pyramid. A population pyramid illustrates the age and sex structure of a country's population. The age-sex pyramid of 2001, that first figure, has a broader base compared to 2011, indicating more population belong to 0 to 9 age group. This is an account of decline in fertility rates during the decade 2001 to 2011. The age-sex pyramid of 2011 figure 2 compared to 2001 has a more bulky middle portion, indicating increase in working population, that is 15 to 59 age group. This increase in working age population is due to the movement of children to the working age group. Mean and median age of Indian population. The median age in India rose from 22.51 years in 2001 to 24 years in 2011, indicating that the percentage of population in younger age groups had declined compared to 2001 census. Even though it has increased slightly, the demographic benefit for India will be much higher compared to China and other Western countries. Dependency ratio. Dependency ratio in India is defined as the ratio of population below the age of 15 years plus the population of 60 years and above to the population aged 15 to 59 years. Dependency ratio can be calculated using the given formula. Dependency ratio is equal to population under 15 years plus population aged 60 years and above into 100 by population aged 15 to 59 years. This calculation could be used to know the dependency ratio. It is noteworthy that most developed countries whose longevity is higher consider aged persons who are 65 years and above as old age dependents. In that case, the dependency ratio is defined as dependency ratio is equal to population under 15 years plus population aged 65 years and above into 100 by population aged 15 to 64 years. It is used to measure the pressure on productive population. A higher ratio would indicate more financial stress between working population and dependents. As the ratio increases, there may be an increased burden on the productive part of the population to maintain the upbringing and pensions of the economically dependent. This results in direct impacts on financial expenditures on things like social security as well as many indirect consequences. It is useful to mention here that the dependency ratio is sometimes computed separately for the young children and for the old people. These are all called as young dependency ratio and old dependency ratio respectively. The above are needed for manpower planning and pension planning respectively. Table 4 below gives the dependence ratio for 2001 and 2011 census. We can see 2001 and 2011 dependency ratio. Considering working population as 15 to 60 years dependency ratio. We'll see in 2001 it was young dependency ratio was 614.5, in 2011 510.1%, old dependency ratio 9.1, in 2011 148.4. Total dependency ratio is in 2001 733.6, in 2011 658.5. There is a decrease in 2011. If we consider working population as 15 to 64 years, young dependency ratio was 588.6, in 2011 485.1, old dependency ratio 72.7, in 2011 it was 96.8. Total dependency ratio in 2001 661.3, in 2011 581.9. No doubt there is a decline in 2011 census. It can be seen from the data in table 4 that in 2001 young dependency ratio in India was 614.5 and old dependency ratio was 119.1. This has declined to 510.1 and 148.4 in the respective categories in 2011. In a developing country with fast growing population like India, the young dependency ratio is very high while the old dependency ratio is very low. The index of aging bring out this point more clearly. This means India has demographic dividend. We have youth force. We can use this youth force for the nation building. Index of aging. Index of aging is defined as the ratio of population aged 60 years and above per 100 of population aged 0 to 14 years. The index of aging for Indian in 2001 was 19.4, which increased by 10 points to 21.1 in 2011. Marital status. As human societies differentiate between mating and reproduction through marriage, the institution of marriage has been found to be almost universal, especially in countries like India. The Indian census categorizes the marital status of its population into 4 categories: never married, married, widowed, and divorced and separated. Data on marital status has been collected in all census since 1881 census. Since 1981, Indian census has been treating child marriages below the age of 10 years as marriage not performed, and the population in this age group is classified as never married. There are several new features of tabulation of data on the marital status. In the table on marital status by age and sex, 2 rows have been added in the 2001 census to provide information on marital status of persons below the age of 18 years and also of persons below the age of 21 years. 18 years for girls and 21 years for boys are the legal minimum age at marriage prescribed by law in 1978 by Government of India. Hence, it is possible to know the number of girls married below the age of 18 years and boys below the age of 21 years. A new table has been added in 2001 census tabulation providing information on age at marriage of the ever married and currently married men and women by duration of married life. This table helps in computing the mean age of marriage for men and women. The data of table 5 gives distribution of population by marital status by sex separately for 2001 and 2011. The table clearly reveals that the percentage of never married males in India is much higher than that of females. This happens for three reasons. One is males marry at higher age than females. The difference between the age of bride and groom being around 3 to 4 years. Point 2, there is a preponderance of males in India's population and therefore some do not get a spouse on the one hand and some men on the other hand have bigamous or polygamous marriages. And third point, to accentuate the second factor further, widowers marry again and more often than the widowed women. The percentage of never married males and females risen over time owing to a shift in age of marriage and increase in percentage of population living in urban areas since 1961 census. A shift in trend is observed between 2001 and 2011. Census 2001 data on marital status of persons show that out of over a billion population of the country, 49.8% have reported never married, mainly due to high percentage of young people in 2011. Slight decrease was observed in never married population with 47.1% falling in this category. The married constitute about 45.6% of the total population in 2001 and 47.9% in 2011. In the age group 15 to 49 years, the prime child bearing age group, 81.4% of the women are married. This percentage is high due to lower female age at marriage in many parts of the country. From the data released on marital status, it is observed that at the national level, the proportion of currently married women to total number of women is reported to be 49.9% in census 2011 as against 47.7% in census 2001. In case of males, it is 46.0% in census 2011 as against 43.6% in census 2001. Proportion of widowed has increased from 6.9% in census 2001 to 7.4% in census 2011 for females, and in males it is increased from 1.8% to 2%. The percentage of divorced separated has marginally increased in both the sexes. The percentage of separated and divorced persons is less than 1% in total population. Thus, practice of divorce separation is not very common in India. Further, these percentages are higher for females than males. This happens because divorcee males find it easy to remarry than women. Table 6 gives mean age at marriage for male and female population. The female mean age at marriage has increased from 18.3 in 2001 to 19.3 years in 2011, whereas the increase in mean age for males is from 22.6 to 23.3 during census 2001 to 2011. Through there is an increase in the mean ages at marriage for both males and females. It is alarming because still so many girls and boys are getting married at early age. In conclusion, age structure is the basic demographic determinant of a nation's manpower supply, and it is influences demand for various essential goods and services. Overall sex ratio has improved in India from 2001 to 2011. The sex ratio in population aged 7 years improved by 12 points from 935 in 2001 to 947 in 2011 at the national level. India has one of the largest percentage of population in the younger age groups in the world. The percentage of children below the age of 15 years declined from 35.6 in 2001 to 30.8 in 2011 census. Further, it was noticed clearly that the percentage of working age population 15 to 59 years had increased from 56.9 in 2001 to 60.3 in 2011. In 2001, young dependency ratio in India was 614.5 and old dependency ratio was 119.1. This has declined to 510.1 and 148.4 in the respective categories in 2011. 2001 census data on marital status of population had shown that out of over a billion population of the country, 49.8% have reported never married, mainly due to high percentage of young people. In 2011, slight decrease was observed in never married population accounting for 47.1%. Thank you.